Good day, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, however. Uh, Thank you for stopping by. It's Steve's Wrestling Ramble. Tonight I'll be going over Monday Night Raw. I was in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee to be specific. Which, right now, I'm sorry, I apologize for looking up. I was looking at my TV screen. Super Tuesday stuff's going on. I will be doing a video, excuse me, all about the aftermath and everything that comes out from tonight's Super Tuesday in 12 states. And a whole bunch of delegates up for grabs. There's definitely, if you're interested in finding out my thoughts on it and the results and everything, I will be doing a video Thursday night, 7 or 8 p.m. Central, talking the aftermath of Super Tuesday. But here on Steve's Wrestling Ramble, Monday Night Raw, a Monday Night Raw that could have been a lot, a lot better than it was. I mean, you have Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon. You have a segment with Dean Ambrose and Triple H, two segments really, the opening segment and then the interaction at the end of the show, which the opening segment foreshadowed to. And you have the Undertaker, part of a show. You would think that that show would have rivaled what last week was, which was, in all aspects, really was just Shane McMahon returning. Now I know that was a huge thing, and I'm still in a little shock of that. But with what I said and everything that was advertised before the show and everything that happened, like I said during the show, this Raw should have been a lot better than it was. I think also it was the crowd. I don't want to put everything on the crowd, but they could have done a little bit more. It's just as they say for a wrestling match takes two to tango. Also in a show, and to the audience at home, it takes the crowd there to make a match or make a event good as well. I think there's a percentage of to that, and again, that's just my opinion. But like I said, the Undertaker was supposed or was on Raw, so it's not like he didn't show up. He was, but the way that they were promoting it so heavily, I thought maybe you'd have a longer promo. I mean, heck, as people were saying, I think I'm gonna look into the stats about it specifically and crunch some numbers. But I think just from watching it purely, his entrance to the ring was longer than his promo with Vince McMahon, and that I don't think that was right. I don't think that was the way they should have done it. There were so many unanswered questions that needed, or at least could have, slowly been answered. Now you didn't have to um, take everything out of the box, out of the quote unquote lockbox of the storyline of the Undertaker's thinking. Right there in that promo, you still have many weeks to go till we get to WrestleMania, so we can slowly get there. But the Undertaker's not going to be on every single Raw to WrestleMania to do that. I mean, if anything, he'll only be on the go home, the go home show to WrestleMania, that Monday Night Raw, which I believe is in Brooklyn, which is near around where my friends live, and cohorts of main event marks. So if that is the case, and that's the next time we're going to see the Undertaker before he gets to WrestleMania, then why did WWE or the writers specifically, why did they have this interaction between Vince McMahon and the Undertaker be what it was? Be too short, be simple, and even what he said didn't even help answer any questions. It just was something that's like a how sometimes they show rewinds or stuff that happened earlier in the night. They do sometimes on Raw, or not sometimes, but a lot. What he said in his promo almost is the rewind of what happened between him and Shane in that opening segment last week. Because, yeah, it's going to be on Vince's hands because Vince is the one that made the match. You know what he was doing. So, in the storyline sense, we didn't really get why The Undertaker is doing it, or if he's even reluctant to do it. The way that came across just seemed like he didn't care. He's like, okay, whatever, and making this warning. But what Vince said afterwards and the whole disowning and all that other stuff. I mean, I guess it works for the storyline, but it's just I don't know. It's hard to explain because it's kind of like the same thing with the Bella twins when they were having their feud with Nikki Bella. Turned heel and aligned with the Authority with Stephanie McMahon. Not a part of the Authority, but aligning with them as a heel. In her corner, and the whole segment with the famous phrase that you heard then. So and then now them being together and everything good, because that's obviously how it is. Storyline different from reality. I understand that, but it's hard to believe it. It's hard to suspend for me personally my disbelief if you know that things are going to be different well after the feud of what it was between them and the feud here between Vince and Shane. Now on to bigger and better things. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship situation. This is kind of a topic I kind of wish I had my amigos from Main Event Martial or anybody here on the show with me, because this is something I really want to talk about a little bit more extensively, because as of right now, Triple H is our WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Obviously, now he's going to have a match with Lunatic Fringe Dean Ambrose, one of my favorite wrestlers, as you guys know, um, at the WWE live event that's going to be on the WWE Network. Roadblock, I think it's called, which makes sense. I actually kind of like the idea. I mean, since it's not an actual pay-per-view, it's just an event special, and it's done in March. Since March technically doesn't have a pay-per-view because WrestleMania is in April, first Sunday in April. Excuse me. Might as well put something in there. And on the big long road to WrestleMania, have something that I could get the fans think maybe there's a swerve, and that's what I'd want to think, and that's what I'd want to happen. That's what I think it would be cool to see. Now, which one would I rather have? Would I rather have Dean Ambrose win the title at this Roadblock event on the WWE Network special show, and then drop it to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? Here's a Dean Ambrose fan. Or would I want him to lose at Roadblock, beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and win the championship at SummerSlam? Or at some point here in 2016, as I tweeted out at my Twitter handle at WWE_podcast, where you can tweet me show segment ideas or just your thoughts on want to talk pro wrestling. Not just WWE, but any pro wrestling I'm willing to chat about. But there I tweeted out that I already am making the prediction, since I like doing predictions for things, that I'm already predicting that Dean Ambrose will be WWE World Heavyweight Champion by the end of 2016. I just feel, in my humble opinion, that it's inevitable that Dean Ambrose will be WWE World Heavyweight Champion by the end of this year, by the end of this calendar year. Now, and that's what I mean. I stress calendar year, not WWE year. WWE year, meaning which is the end of WrestleMania to the next WrestleMania. I'm not saying that. I'm saying by the calendar year, January 1st, 2016 to December 31st, 2016. Just to clarify. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and if I'm right, I'm right. But I just wanted to make that clarification. But I just feel that that's going to happen. Now, it'd be nice for it to be at this Robot event and then have face versus face at WrestleMania. I mean, they've done it before. And the first one that comes to mind for everybody is Stone Cold Steve Austin and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. WrestleMania 17, face versus face, and then Steve Austin turned heel. I'm not saying they're gonna, do the same thing or the same finish as that one, but they could have that kind of uh, WrestleMania main event. Two faces against each other, going for the number one prize. But as much as I would want that, I think what WWE will probably still do is just have Triple H versus Roman Reigns, as the ultimate plan was the plan was from the beginning, which is understandable. I think the real reason that they're doing this Roadblock match or this Roblox WWE special and having Dean Ambrose versus Triple H is just to throw people off that maybe the title might change. It could. I hope it does, yes. But in the end, I don't see it happening because all I see is Lesnar interfering and making himself known and getting involved there. Then also on Monday Night Raw we had the Divas, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch, beautiful women, great women wrestlers, and they had their number one contenders match, the winner to face Charlotte at WrestleMania 32. It ended. It ended the same way, the same way that it did in an NXT match for the number one contendership for the NXT Championship, Samoa Joe. Excuse me. Which was Sami Zayn, I believe. And now they're going to have a rematch on SmackDown, I believe. And then we'll see what happens there. I still think or still looks like they're going to be heading to a triple threat match at WrestleMania for the WWE Divas Championship. Now, as I've always talked in the past about Divas titles and everything, I really hope to get rid of that butterfly belt and bring back the Women's Championship. If not, bring back the Women's Championship belt. Create a new one here. A 2016 version of it. A new era version of the women's title. If they don't want to bring back the old looking one. There we go. What else? Other big things happening on Raw. Uh, Vince McMahon, The Undertaker, Stephanie McMahon finally being able to give her acceptance speech and everything. But it just seems like also, which is like I said, it's the way that they're building this up with the authority and everything, and Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, booking authority and all this other stuff. That looks like maybe WrestleMania could be the culmination of the authority. Could be over. And I know I enjoyed seeing the authority. I kind of was hoping that they would at least last to this WrestleMania 32. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But specifically this Raw, this Monday Night Raw could have been a lot better than it was. It just disappointed in so many levels. I think the main one being the Undertaker and what they did with that segment. The writers did. They could have went so many ways with it. Could have at least been longer, first off, and then what was said could have been different too. But it was nice to see the Undertaker out. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of his, one of my favorites of all time. But just the way that he was used on Raw and what they did and how it all happened, I just disappointed in a way, more than upset. Because really, you can't really get upset. It's just how it is. I just deal with it and move on. But maybe they were thinking, maybe they want to shake things out. Maybe they want to free up Triple H with The Rock coming to be at WrestleMania. Maybe not in a match per se, but then maybe representing him. They can still get Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, they can have Stephanie versus Ronda, Triple H, and Steph's corner, The Rock and Rousey's corner, so Ronda's corner. So it could be still going down that road, which means Triple H has to drop the belt before WrestleMania. That certainly would be interesting if that does happen. Hmm. I think not too much else. too much else of Raw to really speak of. But yeah, close to WrestleMania. I'm gonna have a big WrestleMania predictions and review show. I'm gonna have a guest co-host, a couple other guests on there, plus anybody else that wants to join and be part of the grand show. Um, the amount of people I've been talking to, I might actually be able to get a full Google Hangout here, which is 10 people, not 9 others plus the host, and that would be pretty awesome if that was able to happen. But we'll see. We'll see when we get to the predictions and review episode. But I've been talking to a couple of people, having them on either of those episodes. I'm highly looking forward to it. And like I said, specifically co-host, a guest co-host for both episodes, and we'll see how those go. And maybe we'll have a permanent co-host. Who knows? Maybe that'll help out the show, having somebody else's voice and opinion, and uh, give the show a little life as well. So to help out, what they can do. So if that goes well, I'm looking forward to it. But we still have Raws to go through. We still have I think they go to Chicago, Philadelphia, and Brooklyn, and then we get to WrestleMania. So it's certainly going to be interesting. And this road to WrestleMania might not be as great as other roads to WrestleMania, especially the ones most fans loved was WrestleMania 30, the road to WrestleMania 30, and the culmination that happened at WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan winning the winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. But here for WrestleMania 32, I still think it's gonna be a good one. I still think WrestleMania is gonna be a good show. I'm still looking into seeing if I'll be able to go, but beyond that, hopefully, or I believe, not just hopefully, I believe and know that it still will deliver. WWE wants to break tenders down. They want to make this card look great. They want to have some surprises, some intrigues, some interesting matches. Most of the matches already in itself are, excuse me, that are already on the card are going to be tag matches, and that's pretty cool. You have the street fight, Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose. You have the Hell in a Cell match between Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker for control on Monday Night Raw. Shane wins. You have the title match Triple H versus Roman Reigns right now. That could change. There's many ways things can go. Because if Dean Ambrose wins at this special showing at WWE Network, then the question is then what does WWE do with Brock Lesnar? Well, if The Rock can't wrestle, they're not going to get Ronda Rousey to be at WrestleMania because Dana White just doesn't want to have that happen. You can have Brock Lesnar versus the game Triple H. Again, yeah, but it's still be a great match. You could have Brock Lesnar being pissed off at Triple H because Brock wanted to get his hands on Dean. Triple H is not going to make that a title match. Roman Reigns in a title match, or I just thought of this now myself, and I'm sure others have already said it. So, but I just thought of it right now. In that kind of situation, if Dean wins the title at this Roadblock special show on the WWE Network in March, maybe in that same segment to start off Monday Night Raw after that special show on Saturday, March 12th, I believe, the Raw after there on the 14th. You can still have that interaction between Triple H and Lesnar being all pissed and all that other stuff. Triple H, as the former champion, getting the rematch. Roman Reigns won the number one contender match at Fastlane here in that one. But Brock is facing Dean already in a street fight, so he thought, okay, now I'm facing the champion. Why can't this be for a title match? You could have a fatal four-way at WrestleMania. Like a WrestleMania 2000 situation, which is one of my favorite WrestleManias. Now, the difference is not like the same kind of storytelling and the same kind of situation in that way, but it's still a fatal four-way for the number one title for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Back then it was a little different because you had the McMahon in every corner and all that other aspects woven into that feud and that storyline and that main event for WrestleMania 2000. But here in 2016 at WrestleMania 32. I think it would be pretty cool to see a fatal four way with Brock Lesnar, Triple H, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and Dean heading into WrestleMania as a champion. That doesn't sound bad either, because then you can have Roman Reigns even going over stronger, and you could have him still pinning Triple H, still getting his friends there, and then Brock and Dean this week, Roman Reigns to be the new champion, and then you still go forward into the feud with Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. So there's a lot of ways to go, a lot of ways to think about it, a lot of different ways to fantasy book, a lot of whatevers. I know not everybody likes that when I do that or anyone else, but it's hard not to because there's many different ways these things can go. But it's really be interesting if that was the case. If they decided to go a Fatal Four Way kind of thinking, then you know they definitely are turning the page. How much else going on from Raw does they really touch upon? Um, Wrestling news in itself pretty quiet. I definitely just wanted to promote the fan page, go to Facebook and search Steve's Wrestling Ramble and become a fan there. Trying to slowly grow, see if I can get to a good mark here when we get to WrestleMania. Oh, another thing that happened on Raw that I just noticed about Lana was I might actually be getting into the ring when we get to WrestleMania for the to face Brie Bella, which kind of makes sense, doesn't kind of make sense. I don't know. Just someone for Brie to face here at her farewell tour. Maybe it's supposed to try to put Lana over, but then again, Lana's already over, so she doesn't need Brie Bella or the spirit of Daniel Bryan in a way, the wrestler Daniel Bryan. She's no longer a professional wrestler. So Lana over, but it looks like that could be a match happening at WrestleMania as well. So I guess I'll end it there. Hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. Take care. I'll be back for Thursday night. Thursday night I'll be back, and I will be sharing my thoughts on everything with the Super Tuesday results that are still going on right now as I speak. Of course. And as always,